And here's the thing. Here's the thing you got to face. This is the person that you have to face, and you got to cut this guy off. You got to throw off this old man, step into the new if you're going to be able to treat and love and respect and honor these new pieces of treasure that I'm trying to give in your life. And dude, just wait, you can do it. Where are you going to end up running? Where you aren't right there at the finish line. Like, how many calories does it actually take to pray? How many calories does it take to sit and meditate? How many calories does it take to sit down and do a little fucking self-reflection? You know what I mean? I mean, think about it like this, right? All the greats, all the ancients, all the gods, the Emmet Foxes, Deepak Chopra and James Allen and Henry David Thoreau and all these guys, right? All they said was the same shit. Pray, meditate, get silent, look at yourself, get with God. They're all screaming the same thing across the ages. Nothing has changed, only the dialect, only the tone, only the inflection in the voice. It's all the same shit. Could they all be wrong? Could they all be lying? It's like, it's just, we have to say it. These guys, we say it in like different ways and fluffy ways. And like, for God's sakes, the Mel Robbins thing, this new book, Let Them, getting so much attention, so much press. And I'm so resentful against it. Like, it's been had said 2,000 years ago. And then before that, even in the Upanishads and the Bhagavad Gita, it's just like, let them. Yeah, let go. Ben said, David Hawkins wrote a whole book about it. But see, we need it and I shouldn't be resentful, right? Because you become all things to all people in order to win them to spiritual truth. So you show up in whatever guise they need, dance in the guise, become them, grab them, and then bring them into the ancient truth, so to speak. But it's like, I think about this and it's like, there isn't a magic bullet. And if you're reading a book that promises you a magic bullet, you might as well just toss it in the fucking garbage because there isn't a thing. There's a thread, there's a continuity between, all the greats. And I think about like how much effort it actually takes to pray. Man, to roll out of your bed onto your knees and begin to speak, whether it's out loud or from within. I'm not even sure that I've burned a calorie yet. And my mind isn't even really awake enough to resist in a real manner. Meditation, I mean, to sit down and be silent and just let your mind be your mind. Yeah, that's a scary ass thing. But at the end of the day, you're just sitting down, right? And I look at it this way. These two simple practices that dial you in with the relationship between the creation you and the creator are the most simple and yet the most profound thing spiritual practice any human ever could do. And they are the most resisted and the hardest to beat your flesh into submission to continuously do it. It is like, it's the first thing to go. It's the first thing to begin to save your sorry ass. And then it's the first thing to start to go. The medicine works and then we stop taking it, so to speak. My man Emmet Fox says, if you don't have any time for meditation and prayer, you're going to have plenty of time for sickness and trouble. What is he saying in that, Emmet Fox? if I don't have any time for meditation and prayer, the two most profound practices any man will ever know, right? If I don't have any time for that, the collateral of that is, or the byproduct, the default is sickness, sin, and trouble. Sin is really just falling short of a chosen ideal or being untethered to God. And when I'm untethered to God, I live as this knucklehead, bull in a china shop version, lower self. And I just freaking like self-propulsion, try to mow my way through life. And I create collision and confusion wherever I go. Sickness, sin, and trouble. That has been my experience. But when I'm on the beam and I'm in this constant conversation with God, and I stole a prayer from Chris, my dear friend, and he walks around all day and it's just, where do you need me now? Where do you need me? Where do you need me next? What do you need from me now? Where do you need me, right? And we're walking around with that. We're in constant companionship, one-on-one communication with the Creator, right? And when I'm walking around like that and I'm waking up and my body automatically falls to its knees to pray, and then it sits up and sits right in my fluffy little chair to meditate, and then it does it again when I get when the body has been trained and in that motion of disciplined and obedience, and the flesh becomes obedient to spiritual practice, unshakable foundation for life. You know, another great line out of the 12 and 12 is prayer, meditation, and self-examination are practices that will bring much relief and benefit on their own. But when they are logically related and interwoven, the result is an unshakable foundation for life. Unshakable, right? And so like the gauge for me, the looking in view, if I'm getting shooken up, man, I know I'm off. Not to say that I'm not supposed to have any type of bad day or life isn't supposed to smack me around a little bit. That is for sure part of the deal. But if I'm shaken up more often than not, I know I'm off. If I'm getting pissy or angry about stuff all the time, I know that I'm off and I have to recalibrate. And that's been recently, even like at work, I'll notice I'm like irritable first thing right off rip. And I realize it's like, no, it's not only humanity because I have a lot of responsibilities, but I can't give myself that much of a humanity out because I know when things come across my desk, and you get hijacked throughout the day when you work in treatment. You just get hijacked. You go to do the one thing and then someone needs this. You go to answer that and then text comes in and now you got to do so. It's like, so to have any idea, plan, or wish for how the day may go is setting you up to be frustrated, because the probability of that day panning out the way that I have it planned is a fucking 0 out of 100 of happening, you know? And so, it's just like, I think about these simple practices, and anytime I get wrapped up in my own shit, they're the first thing to go. And I truly believe that it is some form of resistance, devil, Satan, disease, dis-ease, whatever you want to call it, lower self versus higher self, spiritual warfare, good versus evil, it don't matter. All I know is that there is some arena within me whose sole purpose is to just shove my ass backwards for no other reason than just 'cause, It's like weeds in a garden. Weeds have no purpose other than to fuck the garden's growth up, to strangle out plants, just to be around, just to strangle shit out. No other reason. Not producing fruit, not producing just, hey, oh, you're growing a garden, huh? Yeah, it looks really good. Fucking, I'm gonna strangle that shit out. Good luck, dude. And then you have to get um, beaten into a state of reasonableness as a gardener to discipline the body to weed the garden, because that's what must be done to create an environment of growth. And yeah, that's a frustrating process, but it's like, hey, man, how awesome of a garden do you want? You know, how great of a harvest do you want? And I find like circling back to like the anger piece, I've noticed some like serious irritability and anger in me. That's like, just, wow, like I can't, and it's having the awareness around it is the toughest part. But one thing I know for sure is the pain and the discontentment will leave us when it's done teaching us never before. It'll stay as long as it needs to stay in order for me to go, oh shit. Okay. Fuck, man. How did I not see that? How did I not see that? Because when you're the one in it, it's just hard. It's hard to navigate. Like I can't see my own ears, right? I'm this, you know, whatever, this recovery guy, and I got this fucking podcast. I listen, number one, I don't live 90% of this shit. All right. No, I'm just saying, like, listen, I can talk about this stuff. Who gives a shit? I probably have to talk about it because I'm so jacked up. That's how much I need this stuff to shore up my life to be a good guy. And I am always falling short, always falling short. But I know for a fact that I need that type of pushback, that type of discontentment in my life in order to create a story of the protagonist. And I may not like experiencing that type of anger, but what I've learned is no matter how far along I am in the process, I know I have to run shit by other people because I know for a fact I only have a certain type of vision, right? And most of the time, I just need to hear truth and proper perspective from the mouth of another person to be like, hey, man, you got it wrong. Like, you're not seeing it this way or that way. But yeah, I mean, the pain is gonna nestle itself right in there until it's done teaching us what it needs to teach us, and it's never gonna leave before. Think about, like, not to be super corny, but the caterpillar in the cocoon. It's gonna restrict. I mean, to the caterpillar, the cocoon's a coffin. Do we even know if it's privy for what's to come? Maybe. I mean, I don't know, right? But like, it is constriction, restriction, contraction before the greatest expansion ever to come in the life of him. Once a slave to the dirt, no longer set free, right? Just absolutely set free. Half a life glued to the dirt, the other half is free as they come. And the process, the initiation, was just getting, just getting like shoved into a corner, you know? And so, like, I know that process is within me in life. And although I may kick and scream during it, I know that it has a purpose, and it's tough to navigate. Like, am I allowing this purpose to happen, and really trying to move through it with faith and trying to be a good person, or am I letting it bang me up a little too much? And I can do that, man. I can lose my, I know I can get really fucking negative. I notice that, and I'll have to have Chris fucking bounce me back, and I'll be like, dude, I'm sorry. I didn't even realize, like, I'm just being so negative. Like, I didn't even see it. And then I'll like get into it and I'll hear myself say some shit or I'll feel some type of attitude. And I'm just like, whoa, dude, I am like not doing good right now. This is like not that chill, you know? And so whatever, man, it takes what it takes. And, you know, I truly believe there is two choices always. And that is you can bury your head in the sand with your ass in the air and be like, you know, earmuffs and just pretend like it's not there and just la 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 la, just bury your head in the sand and just wait for it to pass and hope it passes and do that whole thing and play dumb and play stupid and play naive and run and hide and evade and avoid at all costs. Or you can stand and face. And the kicker with burying your head in the sand is we think that that's relief. But once we take our head out of the sand, it's still right there. The pain, the discomfort, a situation you don't want to address, the thing you don't want to get honest about, the thing you don't want to talk about in therapy. You know, it's always right there. And in my life, the lessons that I consistently go through or have gone through or whatever, they don't really change. It's like no matter how far I think I'm running, whenever I turn tail and the pain gets great enough, and then I have to come back to truth and face whatever I've been evading, it's no different than the last time I ran. It's just it's the same fucking thing. So it's like you're just delaying the process. God's almost like, hey man, we're right here. Like, we're waiting, dude. Like, God, I have treasures in heaven just waiting to unload, right? To just pour into your life. And here's the thing. Here's the thing you got to face. This is the person that you have to face, and you got to cut this guy off. You got to throw off this old man, step into the new if you're going to be able to treat and love and respect and honor these new pieces of treasure that I'm trying to give in your life. And dude, we're just wait, you can do it. But the hero doesn't start off strong. He begins scared. And that's one of the biggest misconceptions is like, oh, I better feel like doing this. I better feel strong, capable, and courageous. It's like, that's not been my experience at all. It's been scared to death, don't want to do this, dread, knees shaking, feel like I'm going to be sick, and taking a step forward anyways. Always forward, never back. Always forward, never back, regardless of how I feel. Regardless of how I feel. Feel the feelings, let them come up, feel the feelings, take action anyways, move through it, because you're never going to have a chance to experience the nature of the feeling and its true weight in your life if it stays, if it was true, if there was facts within it, if you don't step into it or let it come up and move through it. And so, the spiritual path, it's like it doesn't require you to start out like a gangster, man. You're going to start out scared. And the moment that becomes okay with you is the moment everything begins to change. Because if it's okay to be a little frightened, then it's going to be okay to be frightened and take a step forward. If it's not okay to be frightened, every time I don't feel amazing, strong, courageous, unshakable, I'm just going to turn tail. And I'm just delaying the process, and maybe you'll end up learning the lesson in this lifetime, or maybe it'll be the next one. But that's what I've been realizing about God, is that it's not God's job to sweep down from the heavens and pull me through the gauntlet that's going to give me his new treasure. He is the opportunity of the gauntlet. The thing that I have to transcend or face is the opportunity of God himself. The Red Sea, right, was the opportunity of Moses to realize his power within him. The Red Sea was the opportunity for Moses to realize, accept, and walk out the power of God. The Red Sea was the demonstration, like without that, he tried to resist the call. He was like, nah, dude, fucking, I got a stutter. I got a speech impediment. Take my brother, I'm good. I'm not built for this, and how it doesn't matter my view of my character and my aptitude and merit and ability to do something. What matters is God's view of my character and how he knows I'm built, because I downplay my character. I downplay my aptitude and my capabilities. God knows the secret desires of my heart, the true reservoir of power within me to do the things that I didn't think I was capable of doing, right? And thank God for that. Otherwise, I'd continue to sell myself short, because I think the whole thing is realizing what I'm capable of. I think the whole thing is looking at yourself like, I'm the fucking best. I'm the best. I'm awesome. I'm so excited for life and capable and smart and passionate and this. And why am I playing small or offering up, kind of false surface humility? I think why would God want me thinking about myself any other way? Would you ever talk to a kid any other way? No. How do we talk to little kids? You're the best. You're so awesome. You can do anything. Oh, you're just so kind and you're full of love. And, this is how we talk. This is how we talk to the innocence of children. And what? So that dialect should change because I've grown in intellect? Fuck that, man. We got it backwards. I got it backwards. If I could believe in myself 1/10 of the way God believes in me, I'd have no more problems. I'd be the president of 7 different companies. I'd have no fear. I'd be a creation machine. I mean, I would have and be and just be living in the bliss of his will at all times. I was reading a Course in Miracles last night, and it was talking about I am God's creation. And in being God's creation, I inherently am in his will. And it's creation, it's the will of the creator to create by evidence of being this new creation. So my gift back to God is to create, is to continue the creation flow that started before me, that is the essence of me, and will extend forth through and from me. That's the gift, is to use the power of his will to create, And that just, that blew me away. I was like, holy shit, that's so simple. I didn't even see that. And yeah, I don't know. I just, man, if I could walk around and have that self-belief, that 1/10 of the way God believes in me, to believe in myself that way, man, I'd be unfuckable, And I'm thankful as all hell that I believe in myself. I do. I know I still have limiting beliefs and all that good stuff. But man, there was a time in my life where I didn't believe in one cell in my body. I just shot myself down, And I got the results of that. my life, the outpicturing, the outside circumstances of my life, if you took a look at it, you'd be like, yeah, for sure that guy doesn't believe in himself at all. I walked around playing small, contracted, needy, victim, all that bullshit. All that shit's got to go. It has got to go. And that's why, like, so the self-belief is in a reservoir within you, but it's clouded out by all this other bullshit, you know? And thank God for ancient truth found in the 12 steps, you know, and specifically 4 and 5, because the answer is looking at all the ugly shit that clouds the reservoir of self-belief. So I didn't have to learn how to believe in myself. I just had to dive deep and go into the abyss and find all the ugly stains on the soul that was keeping me in the illusion that I was not capable, that I wasn't capable of creating, that I wasn't capable of confidence and affect. And yeah, it's just, you know, but again, like that pain of living that lower, needy, contracted self, that's going to stay as long as it needs to stay until the lesson is learned. It's never going to leave before. Fuck, you know? So honor the pain. Look at it. Because you ain't running from shit. How are you going to run from something that's in yourself? You know, my cat Shadow, sometimes I fuck with her and I'll put an Amazon box on top of her while she's in the kitchen. And what does she do? She freaks out and tries to run away. She ain't running from anything. She's dragging the box across the floor, you know? That's how I look at, that's me when I'm running away from shit. Dumbass cat with an Amazon box, Prime, 1-day delivery on top of me, running across the kitchen floor, running into the walls and chairs. That's about how dumb I look. Trying to run away from the wind. Go ahead and run away from the wind. Hey, what are you doing out there, bro? I'm running away from the wind. You got a bake rack. Get out of here. You're fucking crazy, dude. You got to go to the hospital or something, right? I'm trying to run away from the wind. All right. That's a forever chase. You know, where are you going to get where you aren't? Where are you going to end up running where you aren't right there at the finish line? If you found the spot, you know, hit me on the burner. I want to know, right? But I ain't found it yet, you know? So anyways, thank you guys for listening to this rant. Happy 4th of July. If you want to be involved with the show in any regard, hit us on the burner, leave a voicemail, question, comment, debate, anything you want. We'll play it and then I'll respond to it and we'll make a clip out of it. The number is 561-250-3033. Hit us on the burner, 561-250-3033. If you are interested in one-on-one coaching, there's been some people sending in some emails. You can hit us on the From the Grave podcast at gmail.com. And if it works out and I can be of benefit to you and, you know, you want to get some feathers ruffled and frustrated and shake things up, cool. If not, that's okay too. But we appreciate the interaction and thank you guys for all the loving and kind things you say all the time. We appreciate a share. And yeah, that's about it. Peace. Yeah.